Hello, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to give you an overview of the native Centric Wallet, and then I'm going to go out to an exchange and get some Centric Swap CNS, CNS being our traded token, and I'm going to bring it back to the wallet, and then I'm going to share a couple of items from Centric.com, but let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start at the Centric Wallet, and this is the native Centric Wallet. It's at wallet.centric.com. If you visit centric.com/wallet, you can get a brief overview of the wallet and what's coming soon. But if you don't already have a free Centric web wallet, you can go to wallet.centric.com. And if you look in the lower right-hand corner right here, it says new account. And you're going to click on new account. It's going to ask you for an email address. And then you get to choose a good, strong, solid private password. And you get to decide what that is. You want to keep it to yourself. I don't recommend saving passwords on devices, but you should write it down somewhere that you will know where it is. And then the second level of security is 2FA, or two-factor authentication. Today I'm using Google Authenticator, but you can also use Twilio Authy on the Centric Wallet. And these 2FA apps give you a 6-digit code that's good for 30 seconds. So it's always updating. So that's one more level of security. Do you have to put 2FA on? No. But don't you want to keep your crypto safe? Yes, of course you do. So if you look over on the far left and you scroll down about halfway down, you see the word security. You see there's a green dot right there. When you set up your brand new Centric Wallet, you're going to have a red dot there, and you want to open up security, and then you want to make sure 2FA is enabled. I'm going to include a couple of links in the description notes on 2FA, both the Google Authenticator app as well as the Authy app from Twilio. Okay, but we'll go back to the dashboard, and I want to just kind of point out a few items on the dashboard on the balance display. If we're in the upper left-hand corner where it says portfolio value, that gives me the current value of this wallet in USD, US dollars. So a little over $1,400 USD. The current value of CNS Centric Swap, which is CNS is our traded token, which we'll be getting later on. You can get the current price from CoinGecko right here in the wallet. It updates every minute. And if we go over to the right, this is the total global circulating supply of Centric Rise CNR, and CNR is not traded. It's our flagship token, the main token of the Centric network. And back in February of 2020, when we launched as a two-token system, we only had Centric Rise CNR. There was 1 billion Centric Rise CNR tokens, and as you can see, it's been burning every single hour ever since, and we're down to almost 900 million Centric Rise CNR tokens globally. That's total. So it's a deflationary supply that's always going down. We've burned away almost 1/10 of the supply. And why is it burning? And what is a token burn? It's burning because every single hour, Centric Rise CNR tokens yield more CNS. The CNS tokens that are on the market are only there because users have minted them and put them onto the markets. They've moved some of their liquidity into the market to take advantage of it that way. And the burning is happening because every single hour, with that additional growth of CNS inside of CNR tokens, there creates a mismatch in the protocol, and that's what's burned away from the base supply. And what is a token burn? Essentially, a certain number of CNR tokens are removed from the ecosystem and sent to what's called a burn address. And they're basically pulled out of existence. And if you look at the little number right below the global circulating supply of CNR, and as this global circulating supply goes down, it becomes more scarce and therefore more valuable. But if you look at that number right below it, 0.001583, that's the market share that this particular wallet has of the total global supply. And the pretty cool thing about that is that adjusts every single hour. And there's a couple things that adjust every hour. Obviously, CNR tokens or Centric Rise tokens yield more CNS every hour. There's an hourly burn to balance out the network. And then every hour, there's a little bit more market share that's coming into this wallet, which makes it even more valuable. Right below that, in the lower right-hand corner, is Centric Swap. And as you notice, I'm not holding any of my Centric in Centric Swap. And sometimes people ask, well, why is that? Why wouldn't I want both Centric Swap and Centric Rise? Because Centric Swap doesn't grow every hour like Centric Rise does. Its price is determined by the market. And if the intention of the user is to hold their Centric for a period of time, they want to hold in Centric Rise CNR because they generate more CNS. And if you look right over there on the lower left-hand corner, you see how many Centric Rise tokens there are in this wallet, a little over 14,000. And the smaller number right below that is the value of those CNR tokens in CNS. And the value of those tokens in CNS is about 2.35, almost 2.4 million CNS. And remember those numbers, because we're going to go out to the exchange in a second. But before we do that, I want to talk about trading pairs. And actually, before I get to trading pairs, I'm going to talk about these buttons. There's 6 buttons along the bottom of the display here, 3 in blue and 3 in green. And what do those mean? So send, the send button basically means if I'm sending crypto somewhere, I'm going to be sending Centric to another Centric compatible address. You want to go like to like. And understand, not all crypto is the same. Some crypto is in one format, some is in another. So you want to make sure you're sending to a compatible wallet address. So if I'm sending crypto, I'm going to use that button. If I'm receiving crypto, I'm going to use the middle button. And I'm going to copy that because this is the address of this wallet ending in B7D. So remember that, I just saved that. And then the convert button is for converting the tokens back and forth. And there's 2 places that we recommend you convert. No other place should you be converting your Centric tokens. One is inside the native wallet right here. You can convert between CNR and CNS. And CNS is the onboard, offboard token to the Centric network. Again, like I said earlier, when we first minted the 1 billion units of Centric Rise CNR, there was no CNS on the market. CNS gets into the market because users mint it. And when we convert our CNS to CNR, we're taking advantage of those hourly yields. And you can go right back out of CNR into CNS and out to the markets. And so that's the purpose of the conversion button or the conversion tool. And there's another place that we recommend, and this is outside the Centric wallet at bsc.centricswap.com. Again, bsc.centricswap.com, and I'll include that in the description notes as well. And this is for users who have other wallets. Not everybody uses the Centric wallet or the native Centric wallet. Some people use other wallets that are compatible with Centric. And for those users, they can swap their tokens at bsc.centricswap.com. And with that, I'm going to hop over to centric.com. And this is our landing page at centric.com. If you haven't been here, I highly recommend visiting it. There's all kinds of learning resources on the website. And the landing page is kind of nice because it shows you exactly what's happening in real time with Centric Rise. And if you scroll up just a bit and click on View All Exchanges, this shows you exactly where to get Centric. This is probably one of the biggest questions we get. It's most asked, if you will, is how do I get CNS? How do I get Centric? And there's a number of exchanges where you can get Centric. We're available on Ascendex, Probit, MEXC, where we'll go in a second, Pancake Swap, Croc Swap, Rasta Finance, Changely Pro, HitBTC, CoinTiger, and BitHum Global. And you might notice these little pairings, if you will, below each of the exchanges. It's called a trading pair. And what's a trading pair? Basically, you're using one crypto to get another. And so in the case of Ascendex, you're using USDT or Tether to get CNS Centric Swap. Probit has 2 trading pairs, CNS USDT or Centric and Tether, and CNS BTC, Centric and Bitcoin. When I first started acquiring Centric as an investor, this is way before I came to work for Centric, I was using Bitcoin. I would go get my Bitcoin from a place that offers Bitcoin, which is a lot of places. And then I would send my Bitcoin to the Probit exchange, and I would pair it with CNS to get Centric. Okay. Now, along the way, I found that the MEXC exchange was easier for me. It's a pretty simple exchange. And the other thing I like about MEXC is they allow you to pay your fees in native tokens. So you can pay your fees for moving your tokens in CNS, which is super helpful. As some of the other exchanges require that you put in other types of crypto to move your tokens around. And so MEXC has the CNS USDT trading pair. And that's the trading pair that we're going to work to get right now. But before we do that, I'm going to click on one other page inside of centric.com. This is the getting started guide. It's at centric.com/guide. And everything you need to get started with Centric is right here. And that's why we call it the getting started guide. But again, you have your list of exchanges, trusted exchanges. Where do I get Centric? There's also a section that talks about converting your CNS to CNR. Again, if your intention is to hold CNR for a period of time, or excuse me, hold Centric for a period of time, you want to sit in Centric Rise CNR because of the hourly yields. And you got the Centric Wallet, as well as Centric Swap. Again, bsc.centricswap.com is another place to convert your tokens. If you're a Centric Wallet user, you don't need to worry about it. You can do all your conversions back and forth between the tokens in the wallet. And then there's a list of all the different wallets that are compatible with Centric, as well as a number of teaching videos. So if there's anything in this video, feel free to, obviously this video, feel free to pause it, back it up, listen to it again. But there are other resources as well. And you put your request into Google or into Yahoo or YouTube, you're going to find what you need. But with that, I'm going to go over to the MEXC Exchange. And I believe I'm already logged in over here, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But every stop along the way, you want to set up an account. You may have a Coinbase account or crypto.com or another account where you can get Tether or Bitcoin, because understand those are the two main cryptos you'll be using to get Centric. And because MEXC.com, it has the CNS USDT trading pair or the Centric trading pair with Tether, you need to acquire some Tether somewhere. And there's a number of places to get it. You can get it at Coinbase, you can get it at crypto.com, and a number of other platforms have Tether. But once you have your Tether, you want to make sure you send it here to your MEXC account. And understand you need an account for the platform where you get the Tether or the Bitcoin. You need an account for MEXC, and you need your wallet. And understand you want to make sure you set up all those things so you have kind of a seamless experience while you're moving through the process. And right here is where you log in, click on assets and account. This is where you're going to be sending your crypto. And if I click on account right now, I scroll down a little bit, and on the right says search token. I'm going to put in USDT, which is Tether, and up pops Tether. And I've got just under 400 Tether. So I'm ready to go to get some Centric. And you can deposit your Tether here. And I'm actually going to open this up really quickly because this is pretty helpful, because I don't know if you see this, but there's all these different formats for Tether. There's TRC20 or Tron blockchain Tether. There's ERC20, which is an Ethereum version of Tether. Solano, Heco, BEEP20 like BSC. We're on the Binance Smart Chain. We're a BEEP20 token. And then there's all these different formats for the Tether, but you just want to make sure that whenever you get your Tether, you know what kind of format it is. Coinbase, for instance, the Tether that they use is ERC20. So you would click ERC20 and you'd make sure, hey, yes, I'm aware of the risks. And then you confirm that, and then up pops the address that you're going to use for ERC20 Tether. But no matter what the format is, wherever you get your Tether, you want to make sure that the format is accurate. Because again, like to like, you try to send Centric to a wallet that's not Centric compatible, that Centric's not going to get there. You try to send Centric to a Bitcoin wallet, it's gone. You try to send Bitcoin to a Centric wallet, the Bitcoin's gone. You understand? So you want to make sure you go like to like. You want to make sure that even when you're transferring Tether, that you have the right format. So I wanted to show you that just to kind of bring it down to earth for you a little bit again, that, you know, in the crypto space, you're responsible. You are your own bank. And because of that, you want to take your time. You want to make sure you learn how this stuff works. But let's go ahead and go out to the markets. Upper left-hand corner where it says markets, we're going to scroll down a little bit, and there's a search bar, and we're going to put in CNS, which is Centric Swap's ticker symbol. We're going to click on CNS USDT. You see there's the trading pair, the CNS USDT trading pair. Scroll down a little bit. Got the order book on the left. And we're going to buy CNS. We're going to buy Centric Swap CNS. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. And right here, right above it, I don't know if you can see that, where it says available 392.9750769 Tether. And that's what we're going to be using to access the Tether. And if you wanted to maybe save some money, you could kind of buy it in pieces. You'd use the limited order, and you take some time and you try to get the best prices you can. But for today's presentation, I'm going to use the market order, and I want to use all of the Tether. So I'm going to put in 400, which is not what we have. And then I'm going to click market order, click buy. It's going to say order successful. And it's using the Tether to get what we want. And look at that. If you look on the right, we have our CNS now. We have a little over 600,000 CNS, 618,327.61 CNS. So we got it, which is cool. And you can see there's activity in the order book, which is good to see. That means people are taking advantage of Centric. Again, in the MEXC.com exchange, you're going to click on assets, click on account, and now the liquidity we had, or the crypto we had in USDT, is now in CNS. And if we click on search token in the lower right hand corner, put in CNS, up's going to pop CNS. Nothing is frozen, so nothing's going to get held. We're going to click withdraw. And if we bring it up just a little bit, and if you look on the left-hand side, it says CNS Centric Cash. And if you're new to Centric, you might not know this about us. We actually had CNS was labeled as Centric Cash for like 2 years. And we just recently changed the name of Centric Cash, or CNS, from Centric Cash to Centric Swap, because we believe Centric Swap, it more accurately describes the utility of the token, because CNS is the onboard, offboard token to the Centric economy, because CNS allows us to convert to Centric Rise. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to plug in that withdrawal address ending in B7D that we had earlier. Make sure B7D, yep, that's right. And then we click select all, because we want to send all that CNS to the Centric wallet. And if you look right below the amount of CNS, there's a fee. 1,250 CNS, and we get to pay our fee in CNS. Some of the other exchanges require that you pay in other crypto to move your crypto. And the nice thing about this is it's all very streamlined. It's all in CNS. So I click submit to do the withdrawal, and up pops the security. I love security because that makes sure every step we're taking our time and we're doing it right. So I'm going to get the first 6-digit code. It's going to get sent to the email address that's associated with this MEXC account. And looks like it dumped over to the other side. That's good. And so we'll plug it in here, and then Google Authenticator again, the 6-digit code. Okay, we'll confirm that. Again, that's a 6-digit code that's good for 30 seconds. And we get a chance to track the withdrawal status. We'll click on that. And most exchanges have this as an option. It's under review, which is fine. And we'll go ahead and refresh. This is something that I normally do, whether it's in the exchange or in the wallet. And MEXC defaults to the deposit side, but so we'll just click on withdrawal. It's still under review. We'll click over to the wallet, and we'll refresh the wallet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop share right there, and I'm going to pause it while we wait, because sometimes it takes a few minutes. And as you can see, it's pending processing. So we'll go ahead and refresh again at MEXC. So it moved from under review to pending processing, pending packaging, excuse me. And then we'll flip back over to the Centric Wallet. And there we go. It's dumped in there. You see that? And so we were at 618,000 CNS, and now we're down to 617,000 CNS because we paid our fees for moving the CNS in native token. And so at this point, we're going to go ahead and convert. Why do we convert? Because we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of the hourly yields. And so we'll go ahead and convert it over. And we're going to go from about 2.3 million to, we'll see here, see where we end up. While it's processing, we'll kind of talk about the fact that you're going to see in the background there that the CNS is going to go to 0 and it's going to move over to the other side. We'll go from about 14,000 Centric Rise to about 18,000 Centric Rise or so. Now it looks like we didn't quite make it. I'll go ahead and refresh it again. Okay, so almost 18,000, 17,978.169,62794, almost up to 3 million CNS, which is pretty cool. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'll stop share. I'll mention one other link that I think would be really cool, and I'll go ahead and make sure I put it in the description notes, is the yield calculator at centric.com. It's at centric.com/yield-calculator. And again, this just kind of brings the gravity of, if your intention is to hold Centric, you want to hold Centric Rise, not Centric Swap, because in just 1 year, you're going to 3 to 4x the number of Centric Swap you have if you're sitting in Centric Rise. If you look at it like a million CNS, if you just sit in a million CNS for a year, at the end of the year, you'll have a million CNS. But with a 3 to 4x, in 1 year, a million CNS becomes 3 to 4 million CNS. And because of the way the protocol works, we just want to make sure that you really understand that, is that if you're holding Centric, you want to hold Centric Rise. But with that, I want to wrap it up. Don't forget to stay connected with Centric, global currency for the next generation, and stay connected with our groups on social media. We're at Centric Rise on Twitter. I'm at Real Clelland on Twitter. And then we have very active groups on Telegram and Discord. And if you ever have any issues with the Centric Wallet, please reach out to our support team at centric.com/support. And with that, take care, have a great day, and all the best.